But yeah, these are, again, this chart is not meant to be the be all and end all, obviously, of how to trade this way, right? This is like the introductory chart to show you these tools work. You can see it work. You can make extremely good entries and exits for something that's extremely limited. And then once you see that and you understand, okay, these tools just work. Yeah, we've got many, many, many other tools that make this stuff even easier, as you can see in the rest of the live streams that we're doing here, and in the charts that we post. Well, we post them in the members channel and stuff. But it's just like a wealth of tools that we show and that we have, because, well, they're all based on the same concepts and they all work very well, and they're extremely good at targeting. So it's good for knowing where the probabilities are and where you should make your entries and exits. That's the whole purpose of like the pro trader, subscriber tier. The VWAP Gaussian band.
Yeah.
Well, I got
a cone on it from the 28th opening to the 28th, and it's at the 1/3. It's bouncing off the fourth, PV cone. Oh, I actually said PV cone.
It's just a PV, bro. PV.
Projection. Oh, sorry, projection.
PV, like peanut butter, baby, like peanut butter.
That's too funny, man.
What else do we have?
Hey, I had a peanut butter old fashioned last night. Peanut BJ old fashioned. Wow, that thing was awesome.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let me see some here.
this is kind of
ALR, by the way, is rising on the day still on that SoFi.
Yeah.
Even though the returns have led price action down a bit, the returns themselves are indeed still rising. They haven't yet come down.
Who put that up there, Bilbo?
Look at Bilbo drawing with his lines. Is that a
divergence thing?
Looks like an ascending triangle to me, man. This is not allowed on here.
That's right.
Hey, man, these are divergence lines, not channels.
Yes,
That's what these kids to go wrong. They're drawing channels. They don't even know what they're drawing.
I thought it was nata or a cheesecake or something. I don't know.
So it's like, there's a lot of bear div, right? There's a lot of bear div on the SPY move on the daily. But what the bear div's just setting up hidden bull.
Hidden bull, yep.
That's all that's going on.
Yeah, sure. Read the stream chat I just posted.
Here, just said primary billing has been Apollo's not offering billing clients.
Is that good?
Yeah, I read that. I read what you read.
Well, good job. That just came across fucking.
Just came out. I was curious, what does that mean? Is that good? I mean, first off, I thought Apollo was out of business.
Okay, here's the thing. There's this notion that anytime a big financial institution gets involved in crypto, that we're going to moon, baby. But what happens when people with shit tons of money get into a new asset class? What do they want? Do they want to pay a lot for that asset class? Right. Or do they want to pay as cheap as they possibly can and then drive up the price once the retail lambs are convinced, oh, this is the thing we got to get in on now? So, yeah, Aaron, I'm really talking. I know. Apparently my voice sounds funny on this thing. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like on that video.
Oh, you haven't heard it yet?
It's something about the gain on this mic when I use it to talk on Discord. It doesn't sound anything like records me singing or talking.
You sound like you're freaking on helium. It's all good.
Yeah, man. So
Apparently,
yeah, speaking of helium,
dollar reasons
like-
Apollo's not
like-
done.
I mean, helium is another example, but or Celsius, both of them. But yeah, like Apollo getting into, you know, crypto custody for institutional clients. What does that mean? That means this big financial firm wants to manage the wealth of big clients who can't be bothered to custody their own wealth because it's worth for them to pay a big fat premium to someone else to do it for them. That way, they don't have to lose about.
Oh, I understand that part of it. My point being,
What does that mean? That means none of those clients who are worth a lot of money are going to buy the asset if it's considered expensive. They're all going to wait for it to be cheap. And then they buy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
No, I'm
Yeah.
not for you.
it's like everybody always, in 2017, everybody was super excited that there's going to be an ETF for Bitcoin, or there's going to be something great for Bitcoin, or they're going to allow margin trading, or who knows what they were waiting for. On the day that Bitcoin had the all-time high in 2017 at 20K or whatever, 19 and a half, 20K, that was the same day that they released some kind of a Bitcoin ETF thing on Wall Street, or not an ETF, but whatever the hell it was. Oh, they allowed shorting. They allowed shorting, and they opened it up to big institutions.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Right? That day, price went right down. Right? Like fell like a rock. That day, when it hit all-time high, and everybody and their mother was talking about you got to get the Bitcoin, and all the wealthy people were like, "Oh my God, did we miss the Bitcoin?" Boom! Yeah, let's open up this thing to shorts and to financial markets and see how it performs. That day, it fell for a year until it came back up, and when it hit 3K, or from 20K down to 3,200 or whatever. So, is it possible that having more institutional money is good for Bitcoin and crypto? Of course it's possible, and of course it's good for the long-term price. But should people who are retail investors be scrambling to buy on that news? Well, no, because if they're scrambling on any news, they're just shooting themselves in the foot, and they're being misinformed by their own silliness. And instead, they should just focus on learning what's actually moving markets. And if they want to learn how to invest, then buy when things are actually cheap, and then sell when things are actually expensive. Like if I was dollar cost averaging all the time, would now be a good time to do dollar cost average? Yeah, probably a little bit here and there. But would this be the time to go all in? Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Like you really have another 6 months to a year of nonsense.
Anybody starting a 401k or a Roth or some kind of investment right now or even over the last 6 months is a great time to start. For people that
Yeah, this is a great start investing if you're like a young buck fresh out of college and you start a work or whatever. Great time. But like
you're down 40% right now from the year over year if you've got people can't retire now.
If you've been in these markets for years, the last year has not been good to you unless you've been shorting it.
Trust me, I every day at the restaurant.
Yeah. Exactly. And could it easily last another half a year or another 18 months? Yeah, it could. Is it likely to? I don't know. I don't really. Who knows? But I don't really think it's going to be really bad for 18 months on the markets. It's going to be really bad for 18 months or more on the street because it's always a lagging effect of the markets to the street. But I think trading wise, you're going to have a few wacky months coming up, and then you're going to have a pretty good time in the second half of 2022 probably and 2023. That's my take. Could I be off by some months or even a year? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. But I don't trade those silly time frames. It's like investing. That's just investing. I want to trade. That means I'm looking at low time frames because that's where the action is.
How low? Death row.
Yeah. So yeah, news, bro, news.
Yes, news. We're a news-driven Discord channel. Everything here is all about the news.
Yeah, absolutely. Let people keep reading it. It's good for all the liquidity.
If you want to throw darts, come to Alpha Trading.
Yeah, that's right.
Or flip quarters or throw darts, bro. That's us, man. Come on in.
We have coin flip. We have amazing coin flip indicators. What you talking about, bro? Hey, let's look right into those PBs, man.
Oh, PBs, yeah. Hey, that's
Yeah.
protection, boss, man.
That's right.
Those
And the
cones-
PB2 has amazing coin flip numbers in them, and I put all
Check out
sorts of
their
hands on my charts all the time because they're awesome.
Well, I'm gonna start spreading the word about our cones.
Yeah, man. Cones, ice cream cones, bro. We're gonna
Hey,
sell ice
man.
cream cones.
Hey, why are you staring at my wife's cones? The fuck?
No.
She does got big cones. I gotta give her that. Benny Hill. She does deserve a Benny Hill salute. Just kidding. Well, she does. I'm not really kidding, but she's sleeping. Who cares?
I built cones. Totally.
I've made a few shekels here this morning. I'm all good. Now I can pay for dinner. I think we're gonna go to Benihana.
Right on. Right on.
I'm gonna get some.
Benihana?
Yeah, I love Benihana, man. Slice and dice, and hopefully catch my shit on fire.
Right. Fun time.
I was there one time about 20 years ago, and a knife flew out of the guy's hand and almost hit a lady at the table.
Oh my word!
He actually dropped the knife when he was doing his slice and dice chopping. It flew off the thing, man, and went right between this lady's arm.
You need some more practice.
Yeah, obviously you guys have been there, right? You've been to Benihana.
Oh yeah, many times. I love that place.
Benihana, huh? Is that where it starts?
You ever been to Benihana, bro? They got a Benihana there?
No. Only seen it in the
They
movies.
cook in front of you. In front of you, like some master sushi chef or whatever. They chop food real crazy.
And then,
Yeah, I think
we have our
Benihana.
versions.
Benihana is like it kind of lost its luster years ago.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah,
all these
yeah.
other
It's
hibachi
cool.
steak places have come on board.
Yeah.
And, kind of
Right,
ruined it.
right. But yeah, it's that whole concept of having food prepared in front of you in some
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah.
Hana took down motherfucking Wolf of Wall Street, baby.
They have another place here called the Black Rock Grill, and basically what they do is they take these stones that they keep in an oven real hot, and they set it right in front of you, and then they bring you a raw steak, and you cook your own shit. That's
Oh,
weird.
Does the
Yeah.
Rock Investment Group own that or what? Probably.
I don't know, dude. That's a hot rock with a, I don't know. You just put a piece of steak with me in front of a hot rock. I mean, it's freaking weird. I do like Benihana. I have to admit, I love the steak. The taste is amazing, and their lobster is good. So sometimes I'll go there and I'll buy that brown sauce that they said that you can dip it in, and I'll go buy their garlic butter and I'll put it in the refrigerator and make my shit at home.
Dude, I love the sesame dressing
Right
too
on.
on their salads.
Dude, that orange dressing.
Yeah,
that
it's
ginger.
a
Oh my
sesame.
God, it's the
Yeah,
best. It's soup too.
yeah, the soup.
The soup is the shit, man.
Oh man.
The problem here is what's happened is it's like you said, it's become super mainstream, and sadly here in Detroit, it's become super ghetto. I hate
Yeah.
to say it.
The only bad part is you go home smelling like a damn.
Oh my God, dude,
You
you
know.
smell like a calzone or
Yeah.
something.
Anybody looking at Bitcoin on the 4 hour? This thing is hauling butt to the downside. Very nice move on the 4 hour.
Wow, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look. I mean, look at the 3 minute. Look at the 3 minutes on the
It
down.
bounced straight off the daily CVR about 15 minutes ago. Look at that move. That's a nice move. It's a $250 move.
Yeah.
Bro.
Bear market's back.
Yeah, baby.
Something's out, dude. Because that's
Tell me again about how that investment institutional money is good for Bitcoin.
Here you go. Sell the news, brother. Sell the news.
Yeah, bro.
Buy the rumors, sell the news. That's
Absolutely.
always.
Plus, we're about to have a possible hit. Wow, it's pushing down the RMLR on that 3 minute, man.
Dude, this
It's
thing
right
is
off that
really
band.
right. That's a $500 move, man. In what,
Yeah.
15 minutes? I don't know.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I
She's
did.
gonna
It's,
whack you.
28 from 27 and then basically 27 down to here. It's like more than $400 already. And from the bottom of the range, yeah, it's like
We're
a
probably
$400,
gonna get out of
$500.
that weekly range. Wreck all
First touch.
those people that long the other day.
First touch weekly mean BTC.
You know they didn't have last night? They didn't have Devil's Night here last night. They don't do that shit anymore. Did you guys have Devil's Night where you're from?
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I live in a
kids-
Christian
Why do you-
nation, bro.
The night before Halloween's called Devil's Night.
Mischief Night. But yeah, Devil's Night in Detroit. That's true.
Mischief Night. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So everything they would light the city on fire in Detroit. It was a known thing for a long time. You know, there'd be fires
Dude,
all
nice.
over the place.
Nice bounce, man.
obviously I'm just off on a tangent again. I know. All right, I'm back.
That was a sick bounce on the 3 minute, dude. That's already. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
perfect touch on the target, came down, and
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah. What is that?
XRP.
The weekly, it bounced off the weekly center right almost to the penny. Almost. I have the weekly, so I'm on Coinbase, but I have the weekly center at 20,290 or 289.
But it did bounce exactly off of. Yeah, right above the weekly, obviously, but right above the weekly.
Right. That's what I'm at. Right
Literally,
above.
the alpha range, the HCF alpha range 1 was at exactly where it hit at 23.17 or whatever it was, 23.16, 23.17. That's where it hit and bounced perfectly.
There we go.
May's
Yeah.
39.
The 90-minute hit the 99.7 Laplace.
This was dirty. All the cryptos coming in to hit their monthlies or weeklies.
Yeah, they're going to try to push it down and get everything below the new monthly.
If they're going to take it up, they're going to take it down first. I mean, you know what I mean? They're going to rip out all the stops and really take it higher.
We'll see what the bulls think about this. Mischief.
Yeah, Devil's Night. You heard of Devil's Night, right, dude, in Indiana?
Heard of what?
Devil's Night?
Devils.
The night before Halloween.
The night before
Oh.
Halloween. You never heard of that called Devil's Night?
No.
Oh my God! Maybe
That's
it's
a
just-
Michigan thing, bro. That's a Detroit thing.
Yeah,
Right?
Michigan. It's like a common. Okay.
I know, but in Detroit, that's like I think that's where it started as Devil's Night, or else they called it Mischief Night.
Yeah, but I thought it was like a Midwest thing, not Detroit. That's why I thought with Indian and
I don't know. I heard about it in Pennsylvania, like near Philly,
Right.
when I was a kid.
Okay.
So
That's right. You're from Philly. I always think you're from
I'm
Brooklyn.
not from there. I just lived there a bunch of years. But yeah,
Where are you from?
Earth, man, third planet from the sun.
Oh, wow, that was deep. Okay, gotcha.
I moved a lot, so I'm not really from anywhere. You know what I mean? Like always in a suitcase kind of thing.
I didn't mean to be nosy, man.
No, it's all right.
He's from
I was-
old Palestine.
Yeah, no, I'm born in Boston, man. If anything, I'm from Northeast
Beaner.
USA. But like,
Beaner, man.
yeah, but I'm not. I'm not
South.
from anywhere really. I'm just like
My
moving.
daughter gets to tell everybody she's a Boca baby. She's from Boca Raton.
There you go. That's funny.
Which means Ponzi scheme. So
Ponzi.
Charles Ponzi.
Damn
founded
kids
Boca
are a
Raton.
Ponzi.
But also means a nice golf club and a nice
Dating community.
yacht bay.
Yeah, 6th borough of New York. Literally.
That was a nice little drop and pop there on Bitcoin, man. That's
Yeah, it was, man.
Yeah, and it's trying to get back up above the 4-hour 95.4 Laplace. It's at 20,000.
Right. Yeah, just above the daily S1 too. Yeah.
And the its E-score pretty low.
Right.
This is typical, though. Exactly what they're going to try to do. Going to try to push it down. They're going to try to push SPY below probably. Well, that's a big move, but
Did they all come in at XRP? Come in too?
375 Bitcoin
You
below.
got it.
Oh yeah,
You got entropy, but it's pulling a bull div off of entropy on the entropy oscillator, which not our primary div oscillator to look at, but it is a good one.
So right to the center of the weekly almost. 1 SD on the daily. That 15-minute candle went right to the 1 SD on the daily. Next
I wonder
one,
what Doge.
dip below it, pulled right back up to the bottom of the 68.3. Let's see what happens.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Now back up here above the top of the monthly is back up above the 4-hour 95.4 Laplace.
Right.
Solana had a nice big move there too, man. Look at that
So
hour.
it
Just
is.
lost an hour shot on Solana.
Who's feeling a Doge short?
There it is right there. There's a little white line. 20,468. That's a 95.4 Laplace on a 4-hour.
It's looking for more downside right now.
Oh
Yeah.
man, look at that! Wow, holy shit!
Let's do on the 4-hour.
Entropy trending down.
Oops.
Get short done.
Reset the price. Get
There was some nice outliers there on different time frames on the ALR to the downside. I mean, that thing was short of bounce there. So about as sure as anything gets in this business.
The hell's going on with Trading View? Populate my shit before I call somebody. You don't want me to call.
Waiter.
Look,
Mhm.
he's populating.
There's no population in my trading view chart.
Damn cat air. What's happening here? I gotta clear my cache, whatever the hell it is.
Don't be using big words, man.
Fuck, right?
Cache.
What is happening?
That could be cache.
Let me reload this chart.
I need some food, man.
This thing doesn't
Hey,
understand.
have you been working on that tasty trade thing at all, or no?
I thought I was gonna yesterday, but I ended up going to that damn game. I told my brother I didn't go.
Game?
Huh?
You went to the indie game?
Yeah, I went to the Colt.
I didn't even know. I'm a diehard Dolphin fan, and I didn't even know Detroit was playing Miami this week. I was pissed when I found out. I could have went to that game.
Dude, we start the kid, Ellinger, who's going to be a great quarterback. He played great. Should have won that damn game. But then gets down towards the end of the game, fucking Reich starts fucking playing not to win. That drives me nuts. Runs 2 draws in a row on our own 30, and then tries to pass on 3rd down. Now it's 4th down. We kick it away. They come down, score, take the lead, win the game.
Who'd you guys play?
Commanders, or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah, the Commanders, the Skins.
Bunch of simps that bowed to the woke crowd and changed their name.
I know, dude. I don't mind the Redskins changing their name, but the Cleveland Indians bothers me that they changed their name.
Yeah, for sure.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Cleveland Guardians sounds like stupid as anyway.
It's pretty dumb. Pretty dumb.
Space Force.
Space Force.
Dun,
So we're right here.
dun,
Bitcoin sandwiched between these bad boys.
dun,
Between
dun.
these 2 reverse means.
Dude, much of the Ukrainian capital is now without power after the Russians. They're going to strike all. They're going to like starve and kill these people, innocent people. He's shooting all the energy plants, all the dams, all the water. I cannot believe it's going to be such a humanitarian crisis here. I mean, not that it isn't already, but if you put that country with no power going into the winter, you're going to talk about mass problems. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off there. I apologize.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad, dude. I mean, you're knocking out all these people's power, man.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's bad. It is a bad situation. Like you can't. I don't know.
That's the problem.
30 million people's power or whatever, like 40 million.
That's my point, Yasha. You're going to start creating. This is a matter of just civilian life and death, man.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what he's taking this damn property for. What the fuck do you want it for?
Legacy, bro. He's paranoia and legacy.
All dick disease.
And also, it's the only way he can avoid going to prison or getting executed, probably, because that's usually what happens to dictators.
Dude, just take yourself out of it. I don't understand it, man. You're accomplishing absolutely nothing.
What he's doing is he's fulfilling a contract that was signed, I don't know, USSR days, when it was dismantled. And the rules were that the West is not allowed to move into certain countries until the until Russia has mantled up and then put them in their own like little NATO or whatever the fuck they want to call it. So now that you have the West starting to throw their influence in there, it's breached the contract that was signed 80 years ago. So he has to respond.
No, but that's fucking misinformation like hell, dude. Ukraine had a guarantee from Russia that if Ukraine gave up its fucking nuclear weapons that the Soviet Union had put there and gave them back to Russia, which they did, that Russia would guarantee Ukraine's safety forever. That was the guarantee, and the Russians broke it when they invaded Crimea in 2008. And the excuse they used was that America and NATO were getting closer to Russia, which they only were getting closer to, NATO was only getting closer to Russia because all those countries that had been freed from the Soviet yoke had chosen to side with NATO. It was no fucking breaking of the promise, but it wasn't NATO that broke any promise. Now, could you say that they poked the bear? 100%, yes. Are both sides not pure and innocent? 100%, yes. But who was the actual aggressor who used actual violence that broke the actual agreements? Russia under Putin 100%. He invaded Crimea and annexed the land illegally in the 21st fucking century. Totally unacceptable, man. Totally unacceptable.
But rules are rules,
I mean,
bro.
man,
And
but
people
yeah,
are breaking
fuck
them,
Russia.
so he has the right to respond.
Fuck Putin, bro. That's what I gotta say. I got a lot of Russian friends, but fuck Putin.
AAC, do you think Yasha has an opinion?
He has no
Fuck, I have a shit ton of opinions. I usually keep them to myself, but dude, it's absolutely not NATO that broke the camel's back or whatever.
I love you.
Neither side is innocent. Yeah, I'm not saying NATO's fucking innocent angels. It's not like they weren't asking for it, but
Right.
when you actually look at who broke the fucking deal, I mean, any reasonable person would have to say invasion of Crimea.
The problem is it's measured by all the US had to do was do words and contracts. For
Right.
Russia to look like they're in the wrong, they have to fire bullets. And now that's the
they did.
setup in the contract. So it's like those guys are just using words. Now Russia has to use lead because those are using words. That contract was set up wrong. And as you can see, it's being implemented now.
And the bottom line is that.
But that's why the contract negotiations are so damn important, because what's the most important thing in any contract? It's the exit clause. That 100%. The whole point of a contract is how do you separate peacefully, and they refuse to do that. So, yeah.
Well,
Besides, never mind that. Forget all that. Let's just look at the facts on the freaking ground. He's been slaughtering people by tens of thousands and causing his own troops to die by the tens of thousands.
Exactly.
In a silly, stupid war that's all about ego and legacy and trying to reestablish some kind of a Russian empire before he dies, because that's the only way he can avoid literally going to prison or getting executed. Like, and he knows it. So, you know, he's rich. If he didn't have as much of an ego, he could just retire, or he could go to some other country and live in exile and perfectly happy. But he's Vladimir Putin, man. That's not what he wants to do with his legacy. So.
No. And the legacy, and honestly, the bottom line is when this is looked back in the history books, 50 years from now, it's going to be he made a big fucking mistake. Because I'm telling you, if you watch in 2 years from now, if this shit is still going on in 2 years, you get this winter with all these fucking people in Ukraine, and all of a sudden you start to get mass casualties with no power and water and nothing.
Right.
It's going to become a worldwide problem.
It already is, man. They're already blocking. The Russians have already blocked hundreds of shipping, huge boats where they ship wheat around the world.
Apparently,
hundreds of people that depend on their wheat, and they've been blocking it. That's a massive problem already.
But they did have a clause over the last month or two where they were allowing shipments of certain things.
Yeah, and they allowed 1 in 4 of that they were agreed to allow.
But last night,
1 in 4. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? But
listen, also last night, the Ukrainians apparently somebody fired on their military ships in the Black Sea, and now they're blockaded on all.
You're right. But when you're invading a country, don't expect your military to not be a target.
Somehow, some way in the future here, in the next 2 years, the world is going to get more involved. There's either going to be some kind of small nuke thing, or somebody's going to step up big enough and he's going to back down, because it's going to happen.
But it's always a possibility, and it's a disgustingly awful. And the world is largely involved, and a lot of people are being, shenanigan by all sides. Like, absolutely, is NATO, is the U.S. playing both sides, and
Trump's still president. This doesn't happen. If Trump didn't stick his own fucking foot in his mouth and still remain president,
it doesn't happen. Nah, BS, dude. Putin doesn't give a damn who's in the White House, man. He does not care.
I know that, but Trump wouldn't have let it happen. I'm telling you, we'd already be going at it.
Come on, it doesn't matter which politics. All these octogenarians are practically octogenarians.
Stood by and let this happen without
doing this. Trump and Biden are both in their late 70s. They do not have the cognitive wherewithal to be super sharp on strategy. Okay, they're just not biologically possible. I'm not saying you're a dumb person or whatever. They're human beings. They have brains.
That we don't think all these governments are working together.
Bubba's on my head.
What are fucking talking about here?
Absolutely. What is NATO?
I'm moving to Haiti.
And the biggest thing is that Nancy Pelosi tried to commit an OJ just recently. That's the big issue right there.
Broke in her
Yes.
house, beat the shit out of her husband.
I guarantee you. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I guarantee you that that's probably what happened.
What?
That she, I think she fully probably pushed it for him to get offed. I guarantee.
She's offing her own husband.
Yeah, the guys that the guys that
No.
That's a
no-
conspiracy there.
I mean,
bro.
maybe. Who knows? But there's no so far. There's zero
I don't
evidence.
think so, brother, man. I agree with you. I don't think so.
But you know what? They should look
That's why
into.
he's getting hammered all the time.
Hey, they should create a dossier.
Dude.
A dossier.
A dossier, whatever they did to Trump
What the
about
hell are
peeing on the
you-
bed.
Don't be using big words in here, man.
They should do the
Look
exact
what-
same thing to her.
Look what Hydra did to these last 2 4-hour candles.
What is
Yeah.
Hydra?
Well, you open this 4-hour candle, it dumps down just below the 68.3, pumps up to the 2 SD to the dollar, pulls back, opens up, goes up to the 68.3, the top side, dumps right to the 3 SD.
Nice deflection, Bilbo.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, but it's a good point, man.
Well-
Look at that freaking thing, dude. That thing is look at that wick on the 4-hour. It's crazy, dude.
Oh, monkey.
That is
run
crazy.
down.
Right.
Right to it. I mean, right
Yeah,
to
man.
it.
Right. Bang. Right to that third RMLR too.
3 SD was at 290, went down to 283.50. About a little bit.
By the way,
Jeff-
this is a beautiful example of where you have an upside RMLR band, a third RMLR band to the upside below the mean.
What do you
Put
mean?
that one in your pipe and
Oh,
smoke it,
okay.
man.
Put your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, these are all
Did it
fancy.
go to a third RMLR band?
Well, look where it
Yeah,
crossed.
the top of the wick hit the third RMLR to the upside on Hydra Tether on KuCoin, and that RMLR band is below the mean. I love that. I love seeing that.
On the chart that he has up here now?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the chart he has up here right now?
What time frame you talking about, Yasha?
Oh, he was talking about Hydra, man. You were talking about Hydra, right?
What are we talking?
I was talking about Bitcoin.
Oh, you were talking about Bitcoin, but you said Hydra, so I looked at the Hydra.
I said, look what Hydra did to Bitcoin.
What is
No.
Hydra? Who's Hydra?
Hydra's just some other coin, bro. It's just some other shit coin.
The black hand.
Oh,
it's not
there.
a fucking Bitcoin.
I'll post him a chart in the
I have
stream
no
chat.
idea what you guys
You
are
all can
talking
see the
about.
Hydra.
I'm gonna
That's
look-
crazy. Right there in the center pane at the top.
Wait,
That's
where are we at? What are we talking about?
Secret government. I'm talking about a coin, actually.
Isn't Hydra
Yeah.
like the secret guys on the Iron Man or something or like that?
It's the secret government. Yeah, it's running shit.
Yo, Hydra. Wait a minute. What is he posting here?
Hydra.
Is it this is a coin? Does anybody know what Hydra the coin does? Is it like Hydra the clown? I mean, what the
Hydra the coin. What do you do?
what are we? All right, bro. All right, I'm gonna go get some Adderall. Fuck.
Look at that time. Look at that
What
time.
are we talking about now? Spy, Bitcoin, or Hydra?
They're all the same.
I'm being sarcastic.
No, I was just looking at that. Look at that, and I love how it repaints. By the way, on the RMLRs. So you have that. You had that hit on the Hydra coin that hit that
Oh,
third
okay.
RMLR,
Okay,
and now
okay.
the RMLR, because of the action of the returns, has turned up a little bit, and you've got that band now at the mean. I love it, dude. I love it.
Can
It's
anybody
great.
ask, how did we get to Hydra?
Because Bilbo mentioned the Hydra, and I didn't realize what Hydra he was talking about. I thought he was talking about the Hydra
Yeah.
crypto. 4 hours.
Yobo, yeah.
Look at this. We got the 2 RMLRs on the 90-minute. That wick went right to the 1 SD band on the, I believe, 30, and right to the first SD band on the 11 length. I believe that's what I'm looking at. Or maybe no, it's the well, I'll tell you what. Let's turn off. There we go. Okay, went to the 2 SD band on the 30. Let's turn 2 SD band on the 30 and the 1 SD band on the low one, the 11 length.
And then so it touched the mean. Bitcoin touched the mean,
Oh yeah, look at it. The 33 length, the wick right to it, and then dumped right to the 1 SD band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very interesting hour and a half.
And the 4 hour on Bitcoin also crushed the RMLR below. That's sweet action, man. Sweet action.
Yeah.
Woo.
Whoops. Boom. There's the low length. There's a high length. Oh, I mean, it's just went right back down through the power mean.
Yep.
Got a nice bounce right here off of it. Bounce right here off of it, going sideways. Doing, 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 doing. Wham. Bam. Wham. That's right. Soundboard.
Oh man, hey, Dr. Grizzly's in here, dude. We should probably look at a chart if you have it, of the pro chart if you have it handy, just the daily, if you wanna.
A pro chart. I think I have a
Yeah,
pro chart.
15-minute or whatever,
Oh,
sometime relevant to a learning scalper.
All my charts are pros.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys, yeah, that'd be great. If you like, how long is this going to go?
Forever.
It's gonna as long as it's hash power, man.
No, I mean today's stream.
Now see, like
You mean the dump, the current dump?
There's the 2400, right? We saw that on the AVR earlier at 2400s. It just crushed. It's at a what right now? 4.75? No, 0.863. It's not even 1%. Make sure here. No, 4.75. Sorry. That's a 2400. The 981's at almost a 50, and the 525's contracting, positively correlated, of course. Boom, boom. Price action coming down, sloping down, expanding here. And this is kind of flat, positive, so yeah, everything's saying down on the daily. But the volatility being flat, interesting. As you can see, there was bear div on the LR, right? The returns, right? Little bear div, just like right here, right? You get back here. When was this? When was this candle? September 8th. September 8th, you get this big. We had this nice daily candle to the top side, all the way through the 3 SD band. Look at the next 3 higher highs on price action. Look at the returns. Didn't even make it to the 1 SD band. And so then what happens? So what's that saying? There's a massive imbalance in buy and sell pressure between returns and price action. You get a daily candle down just as big as the one that went up. But look, lower lows. Lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Almost got to the 3 SD band on that dump. All higher lows. Start floating right back up, moving to the top side. There was a nice move, that wick right there, but yeah, eventually.
Yep.
Finally all played out. Got this move. Bam. But then what's that setting up? Just from that point right there. Yep. More bear div. Back down to the downside. Yeah, now it's just kind of, got to wait to see what happens here. Especially if we get lower lows, and these are higher lows that don't make it by this 1 SD band, could turn it right around to the top side. Interesting.
Man. And on the lower time frames, if you're looking at scalping it, like on the 15-minute, I mean, after that drop we just had, you look at that outlier on the ALR, man, it shot right past the 3rd band, and the ADQ pushed down to the 2nd band below, and you got the volatility all high with super low correlations across the board, all negatively significantly negatively correlated. So, I mean, and look at all the divs you got there, all the bear divs that had, that played out when it fell down. So it's clear, man. It's clear what's happening on these tools, man. Just make sure you're learning how to read these tendencies, because they really are very, very, very indicative with extremely high probability that you can see, especially if you look at the lower time frame, because then you can see it just happening faster, candle by candle. That's why I like to practice. When I started learning how to do this, I was practicing a lot on the 1 minute just to see it happen faster, so I could see, how are these things moving, and it's really much clearer to me, at least on the super low. But 15 minutes good for monitoring trends within the day, and anything below that's good for targeting actual entries and exits. 5, 6 minute, 5 minute, 9 minute, whatever, 3 minute, all that stuff, and the 1 minute, of course. But yeah, these are, again, this chart is not meant to be the be all and end all, obviously, of how to trade this way, right? This is like the introductory chart to show you these tools work. You can see it work. You can make extremely good entries and exits for something that's extremely limited. And then once you see that and you understand, okay, these tools just work. Yeah, we've got many, many, many other tools that make this stuff even easier, as you can see in the rest of the live streams that we're doing here, and in the charts that we post. Well, we post them in the members channel and stuff. But like, there's just like a wealth of tools that we show and that we have because, well, they're all based on the same concepts and they all work very well, and they're extremely good at targeting. So it's good for knowing where the probabilities are and where you should make your entries and exits. That's the whole purpose of like the pro trader, subscriber tier. Anyway, I just figured we should look at that pro chart. So thanks, Bilbo, for loading that up.
Yeah,
It's
good chart.
yeah. Yeah, it's very helpful, man. It's very helpful for folks to see this and to learn from it because they can look at the videos again and again. It's like, all right, we know in the last few minutes we looked at the pro chart. Just go look at that again and you can see literally candle by candle, or just load it up if you have access to the tools like Dr. Grizzly does,
And until we got the AVR built, I mean, this was my chart. I used 3 different lengths of AVPs. So if everybody's saying, "Oh, well, you're not using that," it's like, yeah, I am. It's just one indicator. So
Right.
all 3 of these is this.
Exactly.
All 3 of those is just this one indicator, which
Yeah,
if you're
it
not
just
used
makes it
to
easier to learn when you see them separate. But once you got it like the back of your hand, like we look at these things all day, so it's kind of a no-brainer to use it in less space, like that indicator shows.
Yeah. So yeah. Once you get used to looking at all 3 of them at the same time, it becomes pretty easy. Until then, yeah, just use them separately. Start to see what's going on. Because this way, at least I've got the correlation set to the low length. Like right here, this correlation is just for the columns. And then these 2 thicker lines are the other lengths, 981, 2400. I can usually tell by what price action is doing what those correlations are as well. I mean, you can see the volatility expanding, right? On the 4 hour, both of them. Guarantee it. All 3 of them negatively correlated. Let's see. Where is the 4 hour? Yeah, well, negatively correlated, negatively correlated, negatively correlated, all expanding. 981 really jumped, man. An 80. So what that's at. Yep. Hold on. Yeah, 981's in an 83, 2400's at a 33, 525's at a 96. 4 hour, it's almost expanded all the way to 100%. This down move. Having an outlier. Like I said, you got the Z-score down below the confidence intervals. That's only going to last so long.
We lost the grizzly bear in our expansive explanations, but that'll be good for the recording anyway, so you can watch it later.
He said he was going to come back.
Yeah.
Let's see, but who knows? Maybe we're here, maybe we're not. I got nothing else to do. At the moment, it's raining. Shit, I need to do outside.
Bilbo, on a different note, today, if you by any chance look into Tasty Trades, can you see if you can find out if you can chart options on it? I still can't figure it out.
Oh yeah, you can set up. You can set up where I'll dig into it.
Yeah, just dig in maybe forward. Just IM me or DM me on the thing if you find a way to do it, because I've been going through it. I'm having a problem funding the account. I told you because of, I don't know, they're not verifying my identity, which I don't freaking get. Or my
Yeah, I've already got my account. Oh, I've already got my bank account attached. I haven't done it. So so if we don't fund the account by tomorrow, if I'm not correct, I got the email too.
He sent me an email. Mine's by the second. I'm trying to, so whatever date it's telling you that it's done. And
tomorrow.
So try to fund it probably as soon as we hang up here. I'm going to try to fund it. Just put $1,000 in it or something.
So, because what are they going to do? They just going to, I mean, what are they recording this?
They're going to force us to use delayed quotes. And that was the problem I had with Webull with options. It's all delayed quotes because they want you to pay the exchange fees. TD Ameritrade, which I also use, I don't have to pay, and that's got all that live stuff. I just don't like TD Ameritrade. It's like it's backwards.
What the fuck is this thing talking about here?
You know what I'm saying? So if you by any chance figure it out and taste it, just send me a link because I'm gonna hop on it right now and see if I can get it. And I'll tell you what, big difference between the desktop and the web version. Big difference is So for your own, I don't know if you're using desktop or how you're using it.
What the fuck? Really? I don't know my damn password. Seriously? I just fucking signed this thing up. What the hell's this thing doing?
That's my point. And on the web version, it's like there's just different shit on the web version than there is.
So do you like the app or do you like the web version?
I still can't tell. I still freaking can't tell yet. It seems like the desktop gives you if you're just here for trading stuff, the desktop is the version. If you're trying to do account stuff, the web's the version.
Right.
Trying to fund it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is like whenever
It's annoying when they split the value of the feature convenience between the desktop versus the web. It's like
You're right.
why don't they just make one the obvious winner and then focus on that?
Dude, why make it easy when you can make it hard? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna do the same thing though, P-Funk. I'm gonna send $1,000 over to it so they don't fuck with our quotes.
That's exactly because I don't want to lose those quotes and then Right,
Yeah,
so
no kidding.
See, it says I have my account complete status. All right, let me see.
Got to recover my password. Apparently, other than that, I'm good.
Oh, it is. JC where allows it. It is agreed. Now fund it. Okay. All right, guys. I'm out. Everybody, I'll be here off the in and out all the day if anybody BS.
Yeah.
Man, I'll be on and off later. I'm just
Yeah.
doing some fam stuff soon.
Yeah. Life. All right. Peace, guys.
Yep. Later, guys.
Take care, guys.
Happy.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.